Today on the channel, we have an unboxing of very nice and very evil proportions with AEW Unrivaled Series 13, Danhausen.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here. Welcome back to the channel for another AEW Unrivaled unboxing and review. And today on the channel, we've got AEW Unrivaled Series 13, Danhausen. But for all your Danhausen needs and a whole lot more, make sure you're hitting up Ringside Collectibles. Use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 10%. Got to get the deal out there. And of course, we're going to do this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there, and we're diving our toes into AEW Unrivaled Series 13. Of course, we're unboxing all these on the channel, so stay tuned for all the rest. And Danhausen, one a lot of people are looking for. As usual, Danhausen Mania sweeping the nation. Very nice, very evil, as we do know. And of course, we just unboxed the Danhausen figure about a week, 2 weeks ago. What is time, of course, but we did unbox Danhausen, the Ringside Collectible exclusive, here on this very channel. And this is a little bit of his backstage gear, walking to the ring gear. The other one was more his wrestling gear. So for a lot of people, a lot of collectors, that might be the yin and yang of Danhausen, all they need. But we do know there's another chase. There's an Amazon exclusive pack coming, and a lot more Danhausens in the future. You can imagine that as well. So definitely get the yin and yang of Danhausen, and this is going to be his street gear, his backstage gear, his manager gear, his all-around good time gear, I guess we'll call it here. And we will do the comparison, like I said, later on in this video. But without further ado, let's check out the old package. Let's see what's going on here. We got old Danhausen looking good, looking like he's in some pajamas, kind of. We do get an extra head with Danhausen as well. Definitely here for that. Got a good glamour shot of him down in the corner. AEW Jazzwares packaging. We know it. We love it by now. He is number 118 in the line of the Unrivaled. Of course, this being Series 13. He does get a little R over here. Very evil is what the packaging spells out. Of course, if you line the whole packaging up, it does spell out very evil with the packaging. On the back, we got the glamour shot. There he is, looking so glamorous. And we got his autograph there as well. Got the big cross sell down low. Of course, we've got Sting, Darby Allin, Wardlow, The Butcher, The Blade, and Danhausen. That is the line. We should call this the face paint set. You know me, I love good face paint set. We do get the Bunny as the rare edition, or is she the chase or the rare? I'm going to say she's one or the other. She's going to be the Chase edition. 1 of 5,000, I think it is. And Danhausen, 1 of 3,000. I think that's how it's netting out. We'll see how it goes with the Bunny. Only way to get her is the Chase Rare Edition there, as we do know. But Danhausen from Rampage, 4/29/2022, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. We're going to be unboxing all of these on the channel and ranking them at the very end when we do at the channel. And it says, watch Dynamite and Rampage. Don't forget. But let's get old Danhausen. Danhausen out of the package. Let's see what's going on. Let's see what all the fuss is about. Like I said earlier, there's a lot of fuss for Danhausen. He's out injured currently. See you later. Goodbye. Up high. Out injured currently, but definitely got to get the Danhausen figures. I think this will be a hot seller for Ringside and everybody else that does sell it. There he is in the plastic prison. Going to pop him out. We're going to pop him out. We're going to pop him in half. Danhausen. Hard times for old Danhausen right there. We do get extra hands for Danhausen. Once again, no fist. Danhausen, a guy that keeps it clean. See you later. Goodbye. Danhausen keeps it awfully clean because he doesn't come with any fists of fury so far. Definitely need a fist for Danhausen, but he's not putting the fists out there to everybody. But let's break it down. Let's break down what he comes with, and he does have hands. So we got 2 maniacal hands out of the package, just like that. Some jazz hands if he needs to do a song and a dance. And then we do get the cursed hands here. Always love the old cursed hands. He gives you one of those, going to curse you. We've seen him do it. I've seen him do it a few times. And then we do get the hands here with the, on the left hand, left, right, what is it? Oh, it's the left hand. We do get his ring. So he does have his ring on his left hand here, much like the Ringside Collectibles exclusive as well. So 2 hands here for Danhausen. Now we dive into these heads here, and I believe we've seen both of these heads. I believe they are straight up reused from the ringside pack. I'll have to look a little closer at that, but we do get the one on the second head. He's got the little poof. He's got the hair up there a little bit more, a little black and brown. You can see where that meets together. Of course, beautiful face paint on that one. A little bit of a mouth opening on that one as well. Got a little bit of red around the eyes, the big old eyes going on there. Definitely Danhausen all day long. You're never going to mistake him for anybody else. And then we do get the other Danhausen head, the stock head out of the package. Once again, mouth open just a little bit there, just a little shorter hairdo. Definitely not terribly different. You got the same mouth. I would have liked to seen a very stoic face or a very expressed face, like a big old mouth open or something, like something really crazy on this head, and then have this one a little bit normal. Just a really true yin and yang, where really this comes down to being which hairdo do you like more, really, between the two. At least that's how I see it, but both got the same face paint going on, both got the same mouth. It really does come down to just the difference in the hair. So, could have used a little bit more, just a little bit more, a little bit more. There you go. But let's break down old Danhausen here. Like I said, he's in his pajamas. For those wondering, these aren't removable. This is all molded in here. So this is molded on in black. Looking really good. Is it a smock? What do they call these things? But all in black here, and then you got a little red stitching throughout, and then you got little teeth going on. Of course, Danhausen loves to collect some teeth. Be a good accessory in the future for Danhausen. But definitely looking good here in the red and black attack. Got the red down on the tights as well. And then on the black, all the way down to the Doc Martin-like shoes. I'm sure these are reused from Darby Allin, possibly, but definitely looking like Doc Martens down there. Of course, articulation on this one arm's going to go all the way around. You get a bicep cut. Double jointed elbows. Very, very good elbows on this one. A little bit loose there, a little bit gummy, but we've definitely seen worse. So a little bit tighter than what I've seen. I think your mileage may vary on that one, of course. Hands movable, back, forth, side to side. Head movable, up, down, back, forth, side to side as well. Get the hula hoop at the very top. You get the traditional waist at the side. Big old Danhausen splits. And then, of course, you got thigh cut if you need it. Double jointed knees. Then, of course, no boot cut. They faked me out with the boot cut there, but no boot cut there. It's way down low at the ankle, and then you get the ankles back, forth, side to side. Of course, got to do the ringside collectible stand. Does he fit on the AEW Jazzwares ringside collectible stands? Make sure you're using discount code Kyle to save 10%. What do you know? He fits like a glove right there on there. Definitely looking good. Definitely a needed Danhausen to me. As really in his time in AEW, this is probably where most people know him as. Obviously, we've seen him wrestle. We've seen his cape. We've seen that. But primarily, it seemed like on AEW TV, this was what he was dressed in. This was what he was wearing. So you truly do need this in your collection, if you do ask me. And then, of course, we do got a second Danhausen. This is the ringside collectible exclusive we unboxed. This is the Ring Gear Danhausen, an all-timer. There's no doubt in my mind this will be in my top 10 AEW figures of 2023 list. We'll do that probably in December or so. This will be on there. How high will it go? We'll have to see what happens to that one there. But these are different head sculpts. I believe this is the same one as this one. Yes, it is. It is the exact same head sculpt as this one over here, it looks to be. Got the same hair and stuff. So for me, this is the head sculpt I went with this one. I'm going to use this head sculpt over here for this Danhausen. As close as they are, at least there's a little difference to them. So that's the way I'm going to go. If I had to choose between these two all day long, this ringside collectible one's amazing. I like the wrestling gear a little bit more with the wired cape, everything else. But I really love the packaging design on the exclusive. This isn't bad. This isn't something to sneeze at. It's just not as deluxe and not as fun as this one, but it is still fun in its own way. And like I said, it's kind of manager, backstage, Danhausen, and that's one you got to have in your collection as well. This is truly the yin and yang, and as I said, I think at the top, a lot of people, this is probably all they need out of Danhausen. They don't need any more Danhausen figures unless he totally changes his look, totally changes his gear up. This is probably good for most people, but we'll see what happens. And of course, sometime early October, we'll have the Danhausen Hook 2-pack. We'll be unboxing that one on the channel as well. So we're not done with Danhausen, and perfect time to unbox these Danhausen figures as we're right around the corner from, of course, Halloween, as we do know. But Danhausen looking good in an AEW Unrivaled Series 13. But what are your thoughts on AEW Series 13 Danhausen? A must-have, a pickup, or an easy pass? You guys let me know in the comments down below. And of course, you made it this far. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channels. Yeah, you heard it right, the channels. Don't forget to subscribe to both YouTube channels, as we're doing stuff every single day. And don't forget about the Patreon for early access to videos like this, bonus content, exclusive content, giveaways, Q&As, pizza stuff, dog stuff, you name it. all going on over there, the old Patreon channel. And Patreon, your best way to support the channel. You can also support channel ProWrestlingTees.com, search Kyle Peterson, and don't forget social media, Sir Paul64 on the X, the _ Kyle _ Peterson on Threads and on Instagram. So for Danhausen, I am Kyle. I'll see you guys all real soon.